Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin.
We're live.
And we're live.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the Berardi and Coke, brought to you by the Or to Know Better podcast. I'm Karl, and somewhere on the other side is Adam. We're just going
How
to
are we?
hammer at it. How are you doing, Adam? You all right?
I'm fine,
Yeah?
mate. I'm going for a pint.
You're going for
Yeah,
a
I forgot I
pint?
was doing
What-
this tonight. I didn't.
Well,
I
you might
didn't
stick on your
forget,
camera
just
there
do
and
it.
don't be an ignorant prick. Like,
So,
you might stick on your camera there and don't be an
if I
ignorant
look
prick
into
and
the
let the
camera,
people
I'll
see
fall
you.
over because I'm outside.
You what?
Wait, can you not see me?
No,
You're not?
no, you've got it in your pocket or something.
Nah, I'm
No.
here.
Not a fucking sausage. Anyway, we're going to get on with
I'll see you
it. Berardi and Coke, we're here to discuss the game against West Ham.
Yep.
Adam, the faceless man, what was your opinion on that shit show
I'm
today?
literally, my camera is here. I don't know what's going on.
I don't give a fuck, man. Just talk about the game. What did you think of the game?
I'm really struggling to hear you as well.
It's because you don't have headphones, you
I thought it was
dickhead.
shit, mate. I thought the first half we were good for 20 minutes, and then we were bollocks for the rest of it. Same as every other game this season. It's been utter dog shit.
Yeah, it hasn't been great now.
Firpo's not a left back. Simple as that.
Do you think Firpo's not a left back because he automatically just said that he'd fallen out of love at Barcelona and it's taken him a while to get back in, or do you just think he's not a left back and we should have kept Alioski?
I don't think we should have kept Alioski. I think he's a left back in the sense that he wasn't playing left back for most of the game. He run off to centre back. He was completely to blame for their goal. Their attack came down the left hand side again. He was shit. He's just not good enough.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I you know, that seems to be.
He was poor. And anybody who tries to defend that is a fucking idiot because he was dog shit. Both goals came down our left hand side. Cooper got done with the first deflection, but he was only there because he was covering Firpo, who was nowhere to be seen on the left hand side. Simple.
Yeah. I think it's going to take Firpo a couple of months. It's going to take him till after Christmas to be able to get up to speed as to what we like to do in a game scenario. Like, do you think he deserves that much time?
I don't think we've got any other options, mate, if I'm honest. So he's going to get the time. Simple as that. There's not a lot more we can do with what we've got.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I think Shackleton did quite well today. Try and take a few positives out of the game. Thought Shackleton did quite well. I genuinely think if he has another 2 or 3 games like that, Ayling's going to struggle to get back in the team.
I said that during the game to Kurt. I said Ayling is probably this is the beginning of the end because Shaq didn't do anything wrong. I think he will struggle to get back in. The only thing that's going to save Ayling is injuries.
I think that's it's kind of a double-edged sword there. The thing that's given Shaq his opportunity is the fact that Ayling is injured, you know. But I just think that at the moment we're just not firing on all cylinders for 90 minutes. We're not, and at the moment I think that the only thing we can do is just go back to basics. Like we're trying. Like, I think the long balls today were absolutely pointless. Like, why not just go back to hitting the byline, cutting it back, and just doing what we were good at in the Championship and in the Premier League last year?
Well,
we need to do that.
I think you're right. I think, and I think you're right. The long balls didn't work. It didn't work against Fulham. But then all this doom and gloom, and I've seen a lot on social media about it all being shit, and I'm saying it as well. But, you know, if Click squares that ball, Harrison's got a tap in, we're 2-0 up, win that game. I think key players made poor decisions today.
Do you think?
Can you hear and see me okay now? Yeah.
I'm seeing the sky more so than I am your face, which isn't a bad thing. Like, I'll be perfectly honest. Like, but
okay. I can't hear you very well at all, so I've got to put you to my ear while I'm doing this.
Why haven't you got your headphones with you? You knew you were doing it in the pub, you dickhead. Just
because
going
I
back.
weren't let in for 5 minutes while we were waiting for this to go live. So.
Right. So I'm just going to go back to the first half performance there, Adam. Like, I thought the first 25, 30 minutes we were very much the better team, and even towards the end of the first half. Like, do you think that we need to sort out what we're doing in the first half to make it count in the second half, or what is the problem at the moment?
Yeah. I thought the first 10 minutes we rode our luck a little bit. The first 10 minutes was really, really quite poor. West Ham, if West Ham had been 2 up, we couldn't have been too disappointed with that, really. Melier saved us, as he usually does. But yeah, completely agree with you, mate. Once we rode that 10 minutes out, we looked all right, but it weren't consistent enough again.
Yeah. What our problem seems to be at the moment, I think, Adam, is that we don't tend to take our good first half performance into the second half, and that's where we tend to struggle, I think. Do you think that might be the case at the moment?
Yeah, I think we lose momentum. I think just before the break, Rafinha got his knock or his injury, and I think that probably that just we were on the front foot at that point, and I just think we lost all. Yeah, you're right. We lost all momentum, and I'm not sure what's going on with the half-time things. Whether Bielsa's ripping into it, the players are shitting their pants for the second half, or he's saying it's good enough, and when it's not good enough, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's been all season, hasn't it? Second half, we've been pretty average, if not poor, in the second half. So. Yeah, it's a worry.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, like I've noticed there now. I was just out walking the dog there before we went live and whatever, and just looking on Twitter, a lot of people are saying next week's game is an absolute must win or we're in absolute dire straits. Is that your opinion of it?
No, not all. We're 6 games in, still 30 games to go, 32 games to go. No chance. It's not. It's certainly not dire straits. There's enough. I think we saw enough from Rodrigo up top, and Creswell was brilliant today, I thought. It's just key moments where we just seem to be lacking that killer instinct at the moment. That's all it is. I think it will come. We're not in dire straits at all. It's not great, but as we've said a couple of weeks in a row now, I think we're lucky in the sense that there's worse teams than us in this division, and I think that ultimately is gonna save us.
Yeah, you'd kind of hope that would be the case, all right. And I don't want to be all negative about it the whole time, but it at the moment, that second half, it just doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it. But I'm not going to be negative about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to be realistic more than negative. And I think we really need someone who can put their foot on the ball and just dictate play. And I don't mean to keep harping on about him, but like we're missing that with Hernandez this year. He was the type of player that we could bring on and essentially go, right, get your foot on the ball, slow the play down to the pace that we wanted to slow down to, and then put your forward foot in it. Like, and we don't have that type of player at the moment. And I we should have signed someone in the transfer window to fill that spot. Like, regardless of what people think about Pablo being over the hill or whatever, that position should have been filled. And this is the problem at the moment.
It's a big problem, mate. It really is a big problem, and I suppose it's all well and good as saying no, shoulda, woulda, coulda, and all that, but you bang on. I thought midfield again was pretty non-existent. I was really again. I said it the other week, and I'll get pelters for it again. But I thought Dallas was really ineffective again today. I just I just don't know. There was a couple of passes when I thought it almost looked like he didn't even have the strength in his legs to do a crossfield pass. He looks really tired. He looks really jaded. Phillips, that shot at the end of the game from the corner. A fully confident Calvin proper gets his laces through that. And what upset me more was his reaction. It was just he looks quite desolate. He just looks like he's almost not given up. He's just a bit fucking. He doesn't know what's going on. So yeah, not good.
Do you think, like I said, does that boil down to the players in front of him, where during the Euros now he's been playing at a seriously high level, and he's had them players in front of him, and maybe we don't have that caliber of player now in front of him where he feels confident enough to maybe play the way he plays. Because in the first season of Bring Us Home or Take Us Home, he was asked a question as to how do you know when to play the perfect pass, and the thing that came out of his mouth was, I look for Pablo.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it clearly is the fact that we don't have that key player in the 10 role that's hampering us at the moment. We're putting square pegs in round holes to fill positions in that area when we need someone who is absolutely vital and can do that role to the ability that we expect being in the Premier League under Bielsa, I think.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And I think we all knew it. Everybody said it. Everyone's been, everyone on the pod has said it. Everyone on other pods have said it. Every Leeds fan, I think, has said it. And people have been slagged off for being so vocal about our recruitment. And I think it's now really coming into fruition. I think Calvin has stepped up a level. And I said it, and I'll keep saying it. The players that we've got have reached their level. You can only have one or two in that team. Rafinha's got another couple of levels to give. Rodrigo, I think, has. Other than that, everyone else has maxed out at the peak. And just because they've been really good in the Championship and our first season back in the Prem doesn't mean that they're going to be consistently good enough. So yeah, I think we've got a real struggle on our hands to keep hold of Calvin if it carries on like this, because he needs to be playing with better players, and it doesn't seem like we're going to be in the market for anybody who can bring, who can be that Pablo, be that number 10 that we clearly are lacking.
You're right, and the way I look at that is that we need to be attracting players that are going to want to play in Europe. To keep Calvin, we need to be getting in those positions in the league to be able to entice players in, even if it's the fucking Farmers League, the Conference Europa League, or whatever the hell it is. Even if we get in that already instantly ups the caliber of player that we can attract. And I think if we don't even show like we want to get there with our recruitment as it is, then we're not going to get there, and we're not going to get the players that we need to go on to that next level. Like I said to one of the lads there just after the game in the pub, I was like, Bielsa's never had a squad of consistent players like he's had at Leeds. He's never been anywhere longer than he's been at Leeds. And he's using those players now that, like, I think that, like, I'm not slagging them off in any way at all, but I think they've reached their potential. And we need to start buying players that are going to be just above that potential to start really progressing the way the chairman and the way the manager and the way the director of football, they envision that we will go. And we're not going to do it unless we push on up the league, I think. And we're not going to keep hold of Calvin much longer. Like, it's going to be a Jack Grealish scenario for us, I think.
Yeah, and it almost becomes an argument of, listen, Calvin is probably one of the hottest properties the English football has got to offer after Grealish has now moved on. Who else is there that's going to go for big money English-wise? Declan Rice, I don't think he was particularly good today, but he's another one that could go for sort of 60, 70 million upwards. Yeah. James Maddison, perhaps. players that are playing at non-top 6 clubs, as it were, are the only English players that are going to move, and that's where we're going to get our investment. We have to come to terms with the fact we're either going to have to sell Melier, Rafinha, or Calvin for any substantial profit and any substantial investment into that squad, because I just don't see where else the money's going to come from and where we're going to attract that calibre of player. You know, Villa sold Grealish for 100 mil and they spent it on some really good players. Do we need to sell Calvin and get 100 million in the bank to build 4 or 5 positions that we clearly need the squad? Perhaps. Yeah. I think maybe I'm being a bit dramatic there, but I don't see where else we're going to go with it.
No, I genuinely, I tend to agree with you on that, Adam, as well. It's like as much as I hate Villa, like they've absolutely invested something horrid in the transfer market after selling Grealish, and they brought in some good quality players that are going to, they're going to take them to the next step. I think they won today, away from home, and I think we just need. I think all we're short if we keep the main of the squad that we have, we're 2-3 players short.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I said this on the main pod. I've got some serious doubts over Llorente's mental strength. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure about Robin Koch. I've seen him a few times, and he's not done really that much to impress me. But when you see Cooper, I thought was immense again today, and I thought Creswell looked brilliant. And obviously we've got Strike as well. So there's 2 players that at the start of the season we all thought were going to be our centre back pairing, or at least 2 of the starting 11. I'm not sure they deserve or should be classed as first team players with what we've got going on around them. Yeah. So maybe cash in there and try and save a Calvin. I don't know, mate. I'm a bit desolate. I'm a desolate figure at the moment. It's pretty shit.
Well, I can't tell by the A on the screen how desolate you are, but I'd imagine that you're fairly in a shit place now, like myself. I just feel that we need to sort out that final third area behind Bamford, because Rodrigo today, he played his best game, I think, all season today. Even though he didn't get on the score sheet, he didn't do whatever. He played his best game for us today, and the fact that we're trying to play him in a position behind Bamford, that's not going to work. It's not. Like I have faith in Bielsa and the things he tries to do and the things he wants to do, but Rodrigo is a striker. Like he played well enough today, just the service wasn't there.
Yeah, 100%. Again, you're right, mate. I think, and again, it was mentioned the other day, I think Rodrigo is probably a couple of levels above what we've got in the rest of the team. His first touch, the way that he reads the game, he's so much more. He's such a different level. He gets himself to a great position off the ball, looks for the ball from Click or from a Dallas, and the ball never comes because we go backwards or we play back to the fullbacks because they are so regimented in what they're doing. And there's no bad thing, but we're not utilising Rodrigo to what he should be doing. So he's onto a, he's onto a loser with all the fans anyway. Because unless he bags hat-trick every game, because he spent 30 mil or 27 mil on him, people think he's shit. But he's not shit. We're just not utilising him. Like having a Ferrari engine, a fucking Renault Clio. You're not doing out with it. It's pointless.
Are we gonna start quoting Celino here and just be like, I bought a Ferrari, but I have a Fiat engine in it at the moment? It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Exactly that, mate. That's what we're doing.
Like I said, I don't want to be negative about the squad and about the players, but I personally think the Tyler Roberts experiment is over.
It was over last season, mate. We just can't fucking replace him.
Yeah. I just don't think it's working. Like, unless he plays up front and in the position that we bought him in, it's not going to happen for the lad at us now at the moment. It's just not gelling for him. Do you think, has he got any chance at all, or should we just offload him and try and bring in that number 10?
I honestly don't know what Tyler Roberts has done, but
seems Adam has decided to leave me on my own. Anyway, yeah, so I genuinely thought that today, after the first 10 minutes of the game,
fit.
when we were under a little bit of pressure,
I think the experiment is done. I was really disappointed to see him come on, where I thought we could have brought Greenwood on, or obviously Joffrey, and seen a little bit more from there. Or fuck me, even bring Somerville on. You know what I mean? Like, we brought him on the 91st minute. What the fucking point in that?
yeah,
So
I do have to agree with that.
I think the experiment's done. But I need Tyler Roberts, his family, on like looking after me, because fuck me, they've done a right job getting him game time, haven't they?
This is the thing as well. I never want to say that I'm slagging players off at him, and I would never try and go down that route. But I think unless we're not even playing a £29 million striker in his position, what the fuck are we going to do with Tyler Roberts when we bought him as a striker? You know?
Well, this is it. And I remember we've all said this going back to last season when we first started this podcast. I said, and other people on the pod have said as well, that Roberts doesn't have he doesn't seem to have the actual common sense type behind him. So, but I say this from a footballing perspective. He doesn't know if he's a number 10, a number 9, 11, 8, 7, whatever the fuck he wants to be. But he doesn't seem to have the actual intelligence in human life form to realise that he needs to. There's something not quite clicking in a common sense way. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get why he's not looked at it and gone, right, fuck me. I'm giving all these chances. I need to do something different. I need to reinvent myself. Like Stuart Dallas has reinvented, gone, right, to get in this team, I need to play in every fucking position. Roberts is being told, play in every position. And he just doesn't have the intelligence to go, right, I'm actually going to fucking knuckle down, work my ass off, and master just one of them. He doesn't know what he wants to be. He's just a footballer. He's not an out and out striker. He's not got that desire or that intelligence to say, right, I'm Tyler Roberts, I'm Leeds United striker. He goes, I'm Tyler Roberts, I'm a Leeds United football player. That's the problem with him. He doesn't know what he is.
Do you think, I understand that footballers sometimes get a bit of hassle and they get a bit of that. Do you think maybe he needs to sit down with a sports psychologist and just be like, here, what the fuck is going on with you? You're playing at a Premier League club. We need to figure this out. Do you think, does he need something like that?
I'm not sure. I've not played at the top level, so I might be talking well out of turn. But for me, I think he needs to be taken out of the limelight. He needs to be taken out of the matchday squads for a couple of weeks, a couple of months. And yes, a sports psychologist might be the way forward for him. But I also think he just needs to go out to a team that's going to play their football around him, so he can evolve and learn what he is not just as a man, as a footballer, as a player, as a teammate. I just think he's playing. He was playing for Wales at 18. He were, in the West Brom first team at 17, 18. A lot has come from him far too young, and then he's gone to a massive club like Leeds, and we weren't massive obviously when we signed him. He's not got the pressure, but I just think we're ramping the pressure up on him unfairly, in my opinion. So I think he needs to go away. Yeah, maybe work with a psychologist on that aspect, but ultimately get back to enjoying football and learning what he is as a footballer, learning what position he wants to be. You can learn all you want under Bielsa, but if you don't know what the fuck you're learning for or why you're learning it, what's the point?
Yeah. No, I can't disagree with that, Adam, man. I think he needs to. I think he's at the point now in his career. He's 22? I know that's not old in a football player's career, but like you said, he's acting like a footballer and not say we bought him as a striker. So maybe he needs to be a bit more of a dickhead about it and go no, I fucking deserve my chance ahead of Rodrigo. I deserve my, maybe he just needs that bit of incentive to go and do what he needs to do properly, perhaps.
Exactly that. If we're not careful, we're going to end up with a Jesse Lingard type character who doesn't really do fuck all until he goes out on loan towards like the twilight of his career, and then comes back and but by that point, his career's fucked. He's done it with Leeds. There's no way back from him. Like, we don't want a Lingard character at the club. Somebody who dances around and fucking is great for Instagram videos and TikToks and eats a Magnum or whatever. I want a fucking player. I want somebody who's going to fill that squad and do a job. And yeah, I don't know. The experiment's done for me. I'm done. I'm done with Roberts, unfortunately. Yeah. As much as I want him to succeed.
I be honest with you, I think
I've been moaning quite a lot today. It's only because I can't see you, mate, that I'm moaning. It's like I'm speaking to a therapist. I do apologise.
It's all right, man. I'm here for that. Like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. If you need to get it off your chest, just let me know. Just remember that we
that's
are
why you're
live.
My favourite person on the pod.
Just remember we are live, and people can fucking hear what you're saying. But just we'll go back to the game and less about your therapy sessions. How about Firpo? I know we mentioned him earlier. But what are we going to do there? Like,
do you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you speak on this because I don't want to talk about. I've been negative all podcast so far. So you tell me about Firpo, Karl. You tell me, and then we can disagree or agree.
My opinion of Firpo is that there is a player there. I think that what has hindered him mentally is that he came out and openly said he'd fallen out of love with football. And then he comes and signs for us. And you're kind of like, this is the wrong time for you to be falling out of love with football. You need to be on the fucking ball straight away. And regardless of where we are at the moment, stature-wise, we're still a big club and we're in the top of the English tier. If a player's coming in and saying he's fallen out of love with football and he needs to get his head around it, that's not the kind of player I feel we should be playing at left back.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely correct. And I thought, he's not got off to a good start, has he? And today he was to blame for both goals. So, yeah, he's not endearing himself to me very, very quickly, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, with that in mind, do you think maybe we should start trying drama at left back?
No, in the sense that Drama's he's come through the ranks at Fulham and England youth teams as a right back. I don't think we should put that pressure on him to play left back. Didn't we bring Huggins on last season at left back against Arsenal? He looks okay, and we ended up fucking him off to like Fleetwood or something. So I don't want that curse to fall on Drama because he looks like he's going to be a good player. I think they'll persevere with Firpo because the club will not lose face. Bit like what Radzy's done with Forshaw. They're going to play him. They spent money on him. They're going to play him. Simple as that. Whether he's shit and cost us 3 points today, or whether he's a world beater next week, they're going to play him. That's what we got to get used to.
Well, like my thinking behind Drama was that we've got a player there who this is Drama's third season now, I think, as a Leeds youth player. And he knows the system and he knows what is expected of him, regardless of whether he's left or right back. I think he might be a better option.
I honestly, I do agree with you. I just don't want him to come in and we ruin another young player. Because I think there's so much potential with Drama. I'd rather just persevere with Firpo until the time's right for Drama to come in and replace Ayling. And then hopefully by January we realise that Firpo's dog shit. He's got the positional sense of, I don't know, I can't even think of a metaphor for this, but we then look to get a good quality second choice first, who could go into first choice left back. I don't want us to ruin drama. I don't want us to ruin these under 23s because I've been slagging them off for so long and saying they're pointless until they play. I don't want to ruin them before they get there. But I just think he'd be under so much more pressure if we brought him in and played him out of position.
But do you not think that he'd be a better option because he knows the system and what's expected? Whereas Firpo has come in and said he's fallen out of love with football, and that automatically puts doubt in any supporter's mind. You get drama in there. He's like, he knows what's expected of him, whether it be left or right back. Maybe that's something to look at, perhaps in the cup games, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps. But then again, look at the cup game now. We've got Arsenal away in the Carabao Cup. Look, based on how shit we are and how shit they are, it's going to go on penalties again because we'll both cancel us each other out by playing like wankers. And then the FA Cup, you've got to get a lucky draw. So I don't think we're going to have opportunities for cup games this season. I think every game, as soon as you get to November, every game's going to become a cup final unless we start fucking sorting ourselves out. Firpo coming out and saying he's fallen out of love with the game. Yeah, you're right. Complete knobhead. He shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know, mate. Stick Dallas back at left back. At least then, if we're on the front foot and we're attacking, he don't have to be on the ball as much, and he gets a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate. I don't know how we fix this. It's proper shit. I'm a bit disappointed and a bit.
It's tough going at the moment.
Don't know.
It's very, very tough going at the moment, and I think as a fan base, look, we're very we've always been like we're bigger than fucking most clubs, and we are bigger than most clubs. But as a fan base, we show that. But at the moment, the team isn't proving what the fans know, and I think that needs to be sorted out fairly lively.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think they there's a few players that need to, go home tonight and go back to their nice houses in Wetherby and look at the surroundings they've got. And it's thanks to to the fans who have been there. I know you've been there today, mate, and season ticket holders and that, and like I hate the phrase "we pay their wages" because we don't. The club pays their wages, and we're just the dickheads who buy shirts with their names on the back. But there needs to be some kind of. We need to see another level up from a few players, and unfortunately, they just don't have that level up. Therefore, we need to accept that. Stop with this loving over the likes of Dallas and Ayling and Cooper, and accept it. It's just how it is.
Are you saying we need to be a bit more realistic about the opinions that we have in relation to the players that we have at the moment?
Yeah, I think we just need to fucking accept it. Liam Cooper started in League One. He was shit in League One, bless him. He was shit in the Championship, bless him. Great in the Premiership last season. He stepped up. He's reached his peak. He's reached his max. I loved it. I thought he was brilliant again today, but he's not going to be able to play at that level consistently. And if he is, he's got another season in him at that level. Dallas, again, that's it. Click, potentially reached his peak. These are players, Ayling. We need to be looking at replacing all of them in that sense. And I love them. They'll forever be part of Leeds United folklore. But we've got to be not just realistic. We've got to be ruthless. That's how it is now. We've just got to get on with it.
So can I bring up a point that I made from last season that the players that we have, like Ayling, is maybe getting over the hill for a Bielsa style system?
Yeah. Listen, if you get a I don't know, like you can't rev an engine for a fucking whole race. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, Lewis Hamilton won't drive at 6th gear, or I don't know how many gears they have, but they're probably a lot. But But he can't run around that track or race around that track at top gear, hoping for the best. Eventually, it's going to blow up. And that is what's happening with some of the players. They have been at their top gear, they've played at their top gear, and they've blown up. They've reached their peak. They're done. Fatigue-wise, mentally, everyone's got a limit. They have reached their limit from a sports perspective and from a football perspective. And the quicker that the club accepts it and look to replace them, the fucking better. Because otherwise, what's going to happen is we're going to go down the leagues again and we'll be selling off Calvin for 20 million rather than 100 million.
Yeah. Well, I was in the Peacock after the game there before I came home, and I was chatting to someone, and apparently, now I don't know how true this is, but apparently Rads is going to sell his stake in the club to that Westfield fella. Who's got...
I mean, we've all heard things from the Peacock, haven't we? So
yeah, but he's worth about 300 million or whatever
when I see it
is. But do you think would that be a good thing for us now? Rads has taken us as far as he can on the finances that he has.
I'm not sure, mate. I've never looked into Rads' finances. I know there's certain people on Twitter who love to speak about the finances behind Rads and all that, but I think he's done a great job. He's brought in the right people at the right time, in my opinion, other than the playing perspective. But that falls on Victor, who again I think has done a great job, bar a few signings, really, if we're honest. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether Rads has got bottomless pockets. I don't think he has, but I think him selling the club now into his 3-year will be in the Champions League journey would be a real bad PR move from him, from his 11 Sports Group. So I can't see that happening. I can see him selling a stake, but I can't see him selling up completely.
Yeah, no, it's just something I heard in there today, and I just wanted to run it by you and just see what you think, what your thoughts are on it. But I feel
don't listen to me, man. I know fuck all about anything.
No, look, man, this is what the whole pod is about. It's about opinions, and everyone's got one, so it's like an arsehole, really. But I think what might be a good thing is if that Rad feels that he can't get us to the next level financially, then maybe have a 3-way ownership where I think the San Francisco 49ers have 33 or 37% stake. If we had a 3-way stake in it where 3 of them had 33%, maybe then it leaves the option open for better financial purchases, maybe. But
yeah, possibly, mate. I really don't know. I think investment is all talk until the transfer window. Do you know what I mean? So until IR laugh us at the moment, I think we've got bigger problems on the pitch that we need to address. But
no, look, I
totally
agree with
another one. My battery's on 4%.
All right, okay. Well, it seems like we've talked enough shite anyway tonight. And it's look, at the end of the day, I think we all know where the problems lie. It's all good and well us coming on here and saying them, but I think it needs action from above within the club to just kind of perk the things up a bit and just maybe just fucking get us that 10 in January. Just get us that 10. That's it.
Yeah, we all know what we need. The club knows what it needs. Bielsa knows what he needs, and
yeah, I think that's it, man. Yeah. Well, look, Adam, I appreciate you coming on tonight, man, even though you're out in the piss and you don't really give a fuck. So what I'll do is I'll finish it up here from my bedroom. And look, thanks for joining us tonight, folks. It's another miserable Berardi and Coke where we haven't been able to talk about a win yet, and well, hopefully it comes in the next game, and we'll see what happens then. Adam, you all right?
Silly. Cheers, mate. I love your hair, by the way.
I know, yeah, it's smart, isn't it? You have a good evening, man, and look, again, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. I know Adam's just left me high and dry there, but that's absolutely fine. Thanks very much, and look, maybe next week we'll get the win. We'll have to wait and see, but Ollie, keep safe and happy days. Cheerio.